This is by far the best sessions I've ever had.
And it was a magical moment after that. One thing led to another. She was probably the hottest girl I've ever.
Hi guys, I just arrived in Bogota, Colombia, and in this video me and my student Jay will be exploring the streets of Bogota, how the day game is here and how Jay is progressing through his day game journey. I have met many beautiful girls from Colombia on my day game journey, so I decided to check out Medellin in December. I went there. I did not like the city, I did not like the girls, but the more people I talked about this with, the more people said, well, you just didn't go to the right cities. So I decided to give Bogota a try, another city in Colombia, on my way back from Argentina, where I spent the last 3 months, to New York City. Message from me editing this video. At the end of the video, you'll see student tell the story how he met and slept with the hottest girl of his life. But now, let's go and start our journey. We're all set up. We are in the most busiest part of the town, full with dogs and police. The mics are set up and we're ready to do the first set. So set number one, the most important set of any coaching session. He does get 100% in front of her, which is the most important thing. Here you can see on the right the girl in the blue jeans. The student kept walking behind her for quite a while, more than a minute, until the moment when she met her friends. So he did not open, which is okay for the first session. It's all about overcoming the AA in the beginning. And the next set here, boom, that was a blowout. And here we were running out of options. There wasn't a lot of traffic, so I told him to open a 2-set. That again didn't go anywhere, but it's not important. It's all about taking action and overcoming that AA. And here you can see the girl with the black leather jacket, blue jeans, does a pretty decent stop. This actually turned into an Instagram close, and we went to a shopping mall because it started raining, did some standing sets, which was much scarier for him. He thought, oh, she's probably waiting for a boyfriend or something like that. We did a few more sets, and the session ended with 10 sets total, which is the perfect number.
This is by far the best sessions I've ever had.
How did we do? How was the day? Day game wise.
Daygame was kind of like, there's not a lot of people, but it was just St. Robert that pushed me to open the sets, and I think like more than anything, just being around him has like, it gives you like a bit more confidence than you usually would with any other wing that you would typically go with, or other coaches who are more famous. This is like low-key the best coaching session I've ever had.
Thank you.
We did one more session with Jay, and then he had a task to go out on his own and approach 5 girls without me. And the deal was, if he does that, he gets a day off. If not, we go out. And yesterday he went out on his own. He couldn't approach a single set. So what we're doing today is we're doing a hardcore coaching day. We're doing 2 sessions where in the first session, my idea is to push him pretty hard. Just one, next, and slowly transition from that to him choosing the girls that he's gonna open, choosing the streets we're gonna walk. And then at the second session, I'm actually gonna try to walk behind him so that he's walking on his own, he's choosing his girls on his own, and basically doing everything on his own as if he was alone on the street, but I'm safely like 10, 20 meters behind. And if this works out, then tomorrow again, he will get a chance to game on his own. So let's see how this goes. Is your brain again telling you go? So here he kept walking behind the girl, or running, walking, all of that for around 30-40 seconds. But then as she was walking in the building, he overcame the AA. In general, throughout the day, I had to do a lot of encouraging, but as the day progressed, it actually got better and better. He was starting to take less and less time between sets. He was starting to run longer sets. And by the end of the day, he was actually number closing chicks pretty okay. So I would say it was a very, very good day of coaching. We did a full day of coaching, 2 sessions, 2 hours each session, and while we were working together, a student was doing pretty good. Of course, in the beginning there was AA, but the more we progressed throughout the day, the better it got, and by the end of the day he was approaching left and right. And then he had a task on one of the free days, so to say, to go out on his own and do 5 sets, but on his own he couldn't really overcome the AA. So today we're doing a full day of coaching, but I'm trying to do a little bit of a different thing today. Today we're going out, we're doing the first session with me. Still, I'm gonna push him through like during the first sets, but then I want to try to leave him a bit more alone so he can make his own decisions, who he wants to open, who he doesn't want to open, and gonna deal with the voices in his head and just open everyone. And then during the second session, we're gonna do a weird type of session where I'll be sitting in the apartment. We're gonna be on a phone call. He's gonna be out daygaming, and I'm gonna be coaching him remotely. And by doing this, he has to be completely on his own. The only presence he has from me is my voice. And by doing this, we're slowly going from me pushing him into sets to him overcoming AA on his own. I mean, if this works out, then tomorrow I'll simply send him to do 1 session on his own. So let's see how all of this works out. And he did 6 sets in more or less half an hour. Now I'm letting him walk. You can see him further down there. He's walking on his own, and his task right now is just to try to open someone on his own when I'm kind of near him, but a bit further away. Let's see how he does with this.
In the beginning it was harder, there was a lot of walking, but the more we did, the shorter time he needed between sets, even without me encouraging him. Of course, some sets are better, some are worse, but his AA really seemed to be improving. So guys, what's happening now is Jay's outside in the streets and I'm here in the apartment. We are on a call and he's daygaming on his own, and I'm giving him feedback between the sets. That way he is kind of daygaming on his own, trying to do his sets, the sets on his own while I'm not near him, because it's much easier for him to open if I'm near him. My goal right now is to make sure that by the end of coaching, Jay can really daygame on his own and he doesn't need me by his side. So she was across the street, so a reason to not open again, yeah? Whatever the reason is not to open, even if it's a legit reason, don't let yourself not open, because even if it's a legit reason, she's across the street, there's traffic, go to the next light, whatever, just to make sure you don't let yourself come up with excuses. 5 minutes later. So when you are solo and you're not with a wing, the thing is, when you're with a wing and you get blown out, you just go back to the wing, and it's not like a solo guy walking around getting blown out and then just walking around solo. Kind of, you could view that, oh, that looks like this guy's a fucking weirdo. whereas with you, when you're with the wing, then everyone kind of is like, oh, he's with someone else, and it sometimes makes it less stressful. So it's probably much more stressful. It's usually much more stressful to daygame solo. So it's much scarier, but the same rules apply. You see the first girl, you instantly go say hi. 3 minutes later. So, ¿cómo estás? Well, it's super easy. Listen, there is literally nothing I could tell you. I mean, you saw chicks and several chicks, and you had a reason not to open them. I mean, it's, you know, there's nothing I can tell you. This is on you. No, like, this is kind of like the ball is in your field, or whatever the term is, whatever the saying is. You just gotta say, I'm gonna fucking do this, and open the first one. Like, there's no magical thing. There is nothing I can bring on a silver platter or anything like that. So far we are 31 minutes into the session and we still don't have a set, so boom. And there we have it. We have a hit and run. Just a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes after the hit and run, we actually have a full set going on right now in Spanish. So this is good. This is hope. A student that just did his 3rd set, so he's doing pretty okay on his own, and he opened the girl that's engaged, but even though she was engaged, she was still very on, and was like, oh yeah, let's go through some wine, I'm not getting married for several more months. So I think he's learning some interesting lessons about life. By the end of the session, Jay did 5 sets on his own. I still had to encourage him between sets here and there, so it's still tricky, but it's much better than it used to be. I think there is hope for Jay to overcome his AA by the time we finish coaching, but there is no clear way to know we will have to see what happens by the end of the next week.
So, oh, sorry.
Mr. J, what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday?
Yesterday I came back after a full session. I was tired, came home, and I texted this girl that I met during the week, and she had agreed to a date, but I kind of forgot last minute. And I texted her again asking how she was, and she's like, okay. I was like, do you want to go for drinks? And she said, I would love to. And an hour later, we met up, had drinks at a beer garden or a beer place. And one thing led to another, like doing the same routines, like one venue, moved to another venue, ask the right questions, like escalate questions, kissed her in the venue. And, she came over and we had some water, and it was a magical moment after that. One thing led to another.
Okay, tell the hotness fact.
She was probably the hottest girl I've ever kissed.
Enjoyed lovely bonding experiences.
Enjoying bonding experiences.
Invaded.
Just doing romantic things alone in my bedroom. She was so hot.
So guys, the next big question is, will this motherfucker next week be able to overcome AA completely and go out on his own? And we will see that in the next week's vlog. In the next vlog, I'll keep showing you how Jay is progressing throughout his Daygame coaching progress during the next week, as we have 2 full coaching days, that is 4 coaching sessions left, and my goal is to make sure he can approach on his own by the time we finish coaching, but we will see if he succeeds with that or not in the next week's vlog. And at the end of next week, I'm heading to New York City. I'm visiting Mr. T and some other friends there. I'm gonna be a tourist in New York City for a week. Why not? Before I head back to Europe, because I want to spend my summer there and the Europe coaching season is approaching. I do have 1 coaching spot in New York City, so if you want to do something there, then link to sign up is in the description. Fill the form, I'll send you all the details. And Europe coaching season is approaching. If you want to do something this summer in Europe, then fill the same form. I will send you all the details and we'll see what we can do. This is how loud this Airbnb is. And now, after a lot of work, I'm off, guys. See you next week.